This is an illustration of a typical differential core return.
Prior to returning the core, you want to make sure the unit is drained of all fluids, secured properly, and wrapped to avoid damage during transport. Failure to ensure fluids have been drained or damages found from unsecured loads will result in chargebacks or core credit deductions. Also, please make sure all of the appropriate documentation is included with the unit. For example, your debit memo and/or credit reference paperwork, as well as a copy of the original invoice or product return form, PRF, if you have it. We provide our core return guidelines paperwork along with every unit sold, and is a helpful starting point for information gathering. All units are inspected as follows to make sure they meet core criteria guidelines. We start from the outside. Sometimes we receive cores with the yoke still attached. We have no issue with these types of returns. All cores must be returned complete to receive credit. Here's an example of a disassembled core return that includes all the parts. This would still be considered an acceptable core return. Please note, mixed and matched components from other cores will not be accepted. It needs to be the original core and 100% complete. Incomplete returns will receive credit deductions. At the same time, unlike cores will not be accepted unless prior arrangements or agreements are in place with the respective location's core manager. Firstly, we always check to make sure there are no cracks, bulges, or holes anywhere on the core. Here's an example of a differential core with a bulge and a crack in the top cover, which caused oil to leak out. This unit would be of concern as it is likely several internal components are also damaged, which would affect core credit eligibility. Any cores with cracks, bulges, or holes or breaks in the housing will receive credit deductions, and may result in a core not being accepted at all, with no core credit issued. We always check to make sure the input shaft and pinion gear turn freely. If input shaft and/or pinion gear are seized, this could mean that there is significant damage internally, which would affect core credit eligibility. In this case, our techs will do a full evaluation to determine what can be salvaged, and we will contact you with a final determination. Occasionally, we receive cores where the input shaft has been sheared off. It potentially could still be a good core with deductions, but will still need to be evaluated by our trained specialists to make a final determination. Continuing with our external inspection, there will be no credit on units which show evidence that they have been burned up due to improper lubrication levels, have been exposed to fire, have severe rust because of prolonged weather exposure, or have major corrosion. Taking a closer look now at other factors that may affect core return eligibility. Blown out bearings are quite common, so we always inspect the bearing area for internal damage. This is an example of a good core, where the locking retainer is in place and the bearing is seated correctly. The side adjuster is not pushed out or missing. On the other hand, this is an example of a core where the bearing pocket has been blown out and damaged. You can see where the threads are pushed out. There will be a core credit deduction for this unit. Another common problem we see during internal inspection is a broken spigot bore casting because of a blown out bearing. There will be a core credit deduction for this unit as a result. Here are a few more examples of damaged internal components that will have implications towards core credit deductions. Welded spigot bore, excessive welds, cracked inner case, adjustment ring damaged cups. Rest assured, if we receive any cores with these issues outlined in this video, you will be notified by email or phone, so please be sure to provide accurate contact information along with your return paperwork noted at the top of the video. Please remember, all cores must be returned within 12 months of purchase for credit eligibility. Finally, we don't tie up your money by delaying core credits for an extended time period. As an industry leader, we strive to process all core return credits within 3 weeks of when they are received. For more information, visit our website or contact us directly.